What's up everyone, I'm Matthew Moniz and this is the Honor 6X, a $250 phone. So it sits between the budget and mid-range price point, or as I would like to call it, the midget category. For the price, it packs a lot of great features like a solid build, a fast processor, and a good camera. Huawei is selling the 6X unlocked directly from its website and a few retailers such as Newegg and Best Buy. So is the Honor 6X worth it? Let's find out. Most phones that you buy for $250 are usually made of all plastic, but nope, the Honor has Honor and it's mostly metal. The top and bottom is the only plastic you'll find on this phone, but only because it houses the antennas. The back is curved to fit nicely in your hand, but it doesn't feel as comfortable as the Mate 9 or P9 Plus. There's a fingerprint scanner on the back, which is something that's not usually included in this category. It's super fast, and yep, there's also a headphone jack. Now you can nitpick and point out that it's using a dated micro USB port instead of its newer replacement USB Type-C. But because most of us have tons of these cables lying around, I really don't think it's a big deal. There's two speaker grills on the bottom, but only one of them has a speaker behind it. The other is just there for aesthetics. The sound quality is okay, it gets fairly loud, but you're better off using headphones. The Honor 6X comes with a 5.5-inch Full HD IPS display. Colors look okay, they're a bit washed out, and the bezels are a tad too big, but compared to other phones at this price point, is one of the better screens on the market. Now it does get really bright and has good viewing angles, so it's great when you're outdoors. Inside is Huawei's own Kirin 655 CPU, so this is comparable to the Snapdragon 650 in terms of performance. It feels fast and fluid, playing games were easy, and the 3 GB of RAM inside is more than adequate for multitasking. Just note that it doesn't have dual band Wi-Fi, so you're stuck only using the 2.4 GHz frequency. However, my biggest complaint about this phone has to be the software. It's running Android Marshmallow and version 4.1 of MUI. There's a lot of little bugs. For example, every time I move an icon from the second screen to the home screen, it would jump 2 screens to the left. There's no app drawer and there's a lot of little gimmicks. Now there is some useful stuff like using the fingerprint scanner to control the notification menu or swiping it to browse through photos, but I feel Huawei still has a lot of polishing to do. The good news is Android 7.0 and MUI 5.0 is expected to come out in Q2 of 2017. Now I've used version 5.0 on the Mate 9. It's significantly better, it's a lot cleaner with a better notification menu, and you can obviously turn on the app drawer. But I haven't seen too many mid-range or budget smartphones with dual cameras. The Honor 6X seems to be one of the few that come with this setup. The first camera is a 12 megapixel shooter and the second is 2 megapixels. The second camera isn't monochrome like the Mate 9, but mostly used to capture depth information when using wide aperture mode. This allows you to get that really cool blurred background while focusing on a subject. I was actually quite surprised with the pictures I took. I mean, it's not going to beat higher end smartphones that are currently on the market, but for a midget phone, it does really well. The colors look good, white balance is on point, and it did pretty well not overexposing. The only time it performed really poorly was under low light, but that seems to be the case with most phones at this price point. There's no optical image stabilization or 4K video. 1080p at 30 frames per second is the highest resolution it can record in. But the Honor 6X has manual controls in case you want to play with the camera settings, such as the ISO and shutter speed. Besides that, it comes with 32 GB of storage space and a second SIM slot that can also be used for a micro SD card. The battery inside is 3340 milliamps and I was getting really good battery life. I had no problems using the phone for 1.5 to 2 days before needing a charge. Now if you find yourself low, it also has fast charging in case you need to top up. So here are my closing thoughts. The Honor 6X is a solid budget to mid-range phone. It comes with an all-metal build, fast performance, a solid full HD display, a good camera, and exceptional battery life. But it has no NFC, lacks the 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency, and my biggest complaint, a mediocre software experience. The Honor 6X sits directly between the lower priced Moto G4 and the more expensive OnePlus 3. It's in its own category, so if you're looking at the G4 and feel it doesn't have enough power but can't afford the OnePlus 3, then I highly recommend you check out the Honor 6X. So that wraps up my review of the Honor 6X. I want to know what you guys think of it in the comments below. Is this something you can see yourself picking up? And if you haven't already, let me know what you like or dislike about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next video.